Hey, what do you say, YouTubers? Hey, check this out. Unimog 4000. This is from MN Models. Okay, made in China. I don't believe this is a licensed body because a lot of their stuff isn't. They just don't go by the rules and do their own thing. But look at the scale detail on this. This truck comes ready to run. All we had to do was put on a couple of scale bits like the mirrors, the snorkel over here, vents on the side, door handles. But everything else was fully assembled. It's got lights, blinkers, four-wheel drive, portal axle. It's a plastic length truck, and it probably has plastic gears in the transmission and then the portal axles. I'm not sure. I haven't taken it apart. Full proportion steering, friction shocks. Not a whole lot going on as far as high-tech, high-quality stuff, but it looks like a fun one. So we're going to take it out on the trail and see how it does, and then we'll come back and we'll discuss it. So stick around. So as you can see, this is really top heavy, and that's because of the metal body. Like I said, this is like a Tonka truck. It's like a heavy cast pot metal body. The back is your bed and all the accessories are plastic, but the cab itself, the silver part, is cast metal. So it's got a lot of forward bias. It climbs okay, but if it goes off camber even a little bit, it's done for. It rolls right over, which I kind of expected that. But for a flat trail truck, it goes okay. Tires leave a little to be desired. They're not very grippy. Now, see, it goes over pretty easy. So maybe with a better set of tires on it, with some low weight, it might do better. I don't think it'll ever be a great crawler because the body is so heavy, but I think it's, worth trying a set of tires, and I think I'll do that. And we'll do a second follow-up video, see how it does. But it looks good. It looks nice and scale, except for the part where it rolls over. All right, guys, so you can see this is pretty tippy, this because of the steel body, and this is actually very heavy. The front bias is probably 75%. So, on an incline, it did very well if it could get traction. I mean, it climbed. It wasn't tippy at all backwards or anything like that, but this is like a rollover monster. It's so heavy, and so tall. But it was fun. I like it. I think that, what it definitely needs is tires. I think if you put some softer tires that could flex and grip the surface, when it's crawling over rocks and stuff like that, would probably do a lot better. And this comes with 2 sets of springs for the shocks. These are really stiff. I put my tool case on the back of it, and it didn't even squat the rear axle. They're stiff, so I'll have to check out and see how it handles with the alternate springs that come with it. So we'll swap them out and we'll see. And I think I'm going to try and put a set of these bead locks. These are the same tires I had on the Chevy C10 that we did the upgrades on. So we're going to try them on here and see how it does. I think we have plenty of clearance for it. And I don't mind if I have to trim the wheel wells a little bit, I'll do that, whatever it takes to make the clearance. But let's get down to the scoring on this and see how it compares to some of the other budget trucks that we've done. So the first category is damage. And this thing, as many times as it's rolled over, it didn't lose any of the mirrors. The door handles are all intact. No damage. Everything looks good. So we're going to give it a 5 for damage. So the second category is the controller, which This is very toyish. It feels like some of the cheaper things you get with a kid's toy, for $29 at Walmart or whatever. It's got all the controls on it. It's got, steering and throttle trim, steering reverse. It's got the bind button. It's got the little thumb tabs so you can steer one-handed, foam on the wheel. And it's lighted up front so you can tell if you're bound to the truck, which I really had no problem. It was responsive and all. It just feels really junky and cheesy. It's kind of hard to give it a 5, and it's hard not to give it a 5 because nothing went wrong. But just because of the overall feel, we're going to give it a 4. Now, as far as the steering on the truck goes, it had plenty of throw. This is a plastic gear steering servo. It worked remarkably well. It is proportional, and it was not jumpy at all. I mean, everything that you would expect it to do, it did with no problems. The steering radius is pretty good for a long wheelbase truck. So I'm going to give the steering a 5. Handling, when you include rolling over into the handling, we got to give this thing like a 2. As soon as you go like a 2 or 3 degrees off camber, it just rolls right over, plays dead, So it was almost comical. It went over so easy, but also kind of frustrating when you're out in the field. I came into the shop, I was out of breath from bending over, standing the thing back on 4 wheels so many times. But yeah, it is what it is. It's, we knew it was like that. It's so top heavy. So we're going to give the handling a 2. Suspension. Now, I'm not going to fault it because they're not oil dampened. They are friction dampened. I'd like to take off a few points just because they're so stiff, but they did give you extra springs. I mean, I've got some pretty weighty tools here, and you put them on here, and the thing, it doesn't even go down a little bit. I mean, it's probably, I'm thinking, what it weighs, a pound of ham, or a pound of cheese. I bet you it weighs 2 pounds, the weight you put on this to get it to go down. The front seems to be a little bit softer than the rear, but I don't think they're different springs. Like I said, it comes with 4 springs from the factory to spare springs to put in. So overall, I think we're going to have to give it a 3 on suspension. Throttle control is the next category, and I had no problem with it. It's not a speed demon; it's a portal axle truck, so it's geared way low, which is fine. I mean, it's got a lot of weight there to pull up hills and things like that. And I mean, if you were on asphalt, this thing would probably just be a bull. As long as it could get traction, I think it would be fine. So as far as that goes, we're going to give it a 5. There's nothing really to complain about. Brakes, it's got just like a lockup drag brake because of the portal axles. The gear so high. I mean, it just does not roll at all. It just, as soon as you let off the throttle, it stops. So we're gonna have to give brakes a 5. Electronics, nothing went wrong. Are they high end? They're not high end things. It's a all-in-one controller, ESC. Receiver, all one deal. So, if something goes wrong, you got to replace the whole thing. And not that you couldn't change it over to something, spare parts that you have laying around. You could always switch it over to, separate components if you prefer that. But we're going to give it a 4 for electronics only because it's all in one. So this truck gets a 33 out of a possible 40, which, it's not terrible as far as, comparing to some of the other cheap, affordable RC trucks that I've been doing on this crawling on a budget series. Would I buy it again? I don't think so. But now that I have it, it's fun, and I think I'll try to do a couple little upgrades. Like I said, the links are all plastic. The drive shafts are plastic, but it's got metal gears. I don't think the plastic links hurt anything other than it doesn't give me any low weight. So again, I think I'm going to put on the Endura bead locks with those nice grippy tires. They're 62 millimeters, quite a bit bigger than these. I think that'll be something kind of cool to fool around with. And actually, on the looks wise, it might actually fill up the wheel wells a little bit and make it look a little bit better. So anyway, stick around for that video. That'll be coming up soon. Let me know what you think about this, if it's just total junk or if it's something you'd be interested in buying just to kind of fool around with and add to your fleet, especially if you like the scale stuff. So drop a comment, and if you like the video, give her a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't, and we'll see you next time.